Well, we're ready to start our next section. And the next section is, of course, exploring creative movement, also in foundation phase. And we are very, very fortunate to welcome Roxanne Levy on the platform that will present session for us. Please feel free to pop your questions in the question and answer bar or in the chat, and we will follow that up. Roxanne, if I can just ask you, will you be willing to handle your own Q&As, or do you want us to do it on your behalf? Okay, Rox, can you hear us? You will need to press to unmute. Mute, unmute. Do you see that? It's still not. Just try again quickly. The audio thing on the left, you will see. It will be, yeah, it looks like a headset. It will be currently red. If you click on there, it will go green. Can you hear us now? I think it's busy making contact. So what I'm going to say is, I'm just going to talk so long a bit about our experiences so far this afternoon. And I think the fact that we are now busy dreaming here about all these wonderful new things, it is almost like we are starting fresh after COVID, being locked down, being locked away for so long. I think there was such a need for us to get here, but I will still need Roxy to put her camera on, because the camera is still switched off on our side. Can you hear me, Rox? No, there's no sound. Okay. So we're going to try to call her quickly and then see if you will just be willing to hang in there, and then we can try to keep it aside. Once she's there, I will introduce you again to her. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Roxy, your camera is still off. You will need to switch that one on. It's still showing red on our side. Okay, so they're busy trying to upload and to make contact with you, Rox. So you will hear on your phone, they will try to contact you via your mobile, that they can just guide you to get onto the platform. Okay. So, did you get hold of her? So can we just quickly chat in the chat bar? And I think if Roxy can hear us, it will be wonderful just to get an indicator from her side. Rox, just have a look for us quickly that your volume is on, as well as the camera, because we still get the indicator. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Roxy, okay. Can't you put the camera on yours? On yours. Okay, I ask you to start your video now. A little bit. Relax. We're going to have you there now. Are you coming in again? Yeah, okay. I see you. Okay. All right. Relax. We're going to have you on just now. Okay, what's the screen saying? Okay, retry.
Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for the technical. We're just trying to find where Roxy is, so please bear with us. We're hoping she'll be on in the next minutes. It sounds like we've found her, but now she's missing. I'm actually going to hand over to Henny, who's just going to talk a little bit into the topic while we wait. Here we go, Henny.
It's playing musical chairs this afternoon, everyone, but we're getting there. So we are very excited to start the session about the creative movement. And I think it's very also important that we start engaging with Roxy on the panel and in the sidebars as well, so that I can hand over the questions to her once she's live. I think this afternoon, the great things that we've learned is that there is still a space and a place to think. We've got caps that we want to succeed with the delivery, but that it's also time for us to start dreaming about what we want to see with character development in young people, what we want to see in the world, and that we want to use the arts as an effective tool to get them there. I think I would love to see people jumping up at this stage with ideas to see, how do you think we're going to see the future of creative arts in our schools? Do we think there's a future? I think we've posted a question earlier today as well to say, is there still a need for us to campaign for the creative arts and for movement forward? So yes, I would like to invite you to come on board, do a side panel and start chatting with me a bit about that. There are some people, there's internationally big movements of people that have just decided they stop delivery of creative art content. I've read earlier on one of the chats that came out from the school where the teachers also saying they've cut all the time away to allocate it towards math and the languages. Do we think this is fair practice? Do we think we are sending holistic developed children into society? What is your take on that? Would you mind sharing that moment with us while we still wait for Rox to come on board? Thank you very much. Well, I see there's a wonderful comment from one of my colleagues. Thank you so much, Ms. Sadie. She's saying, well done on this excellent first day of wonderful and insightful workshop. Well, I must admit, I'm also a bit blown away with the reaction from people, especially on the panel discussions that we started up first this afternoon. And yes, that we are now already reaching to workshop 4. And at the end of the conference, you will see there will be a total of 16 workshops that you can join. There will also, of course, be a bit of training involved, a bit of learning. So we would like to invite you to join us tomorrow when we go into the Kami and how we're going to present with Kami, how we turn digital, any workshop basically into a digital tool as well. I think we're ready. There's Roxy is there, so we are ready to start the session. Yes, we are here. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you very much, Roxy. Well, everyone is waiting in anticipation for Roxy to start. Thank you so much that you're on board, Roxy. I welcome you 4 times already this afternoon. So this is number 5. Please, we're looking forward to listening to you. Yes, you can bring your excitement. We're ready.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Right. Thank you. I am so sorry about that. It's my absolute worst nightmare, this technical story. And I've been sitting here ready forever and ever. So I'm going to go quickly and say what I have to say. So first of all, I didn't hear the introduction, but I presume it was wonderful. So thank you very much, Werner. And thank you to the organizers for inviting me to take part in this phenomenal conference. I'm so excited to be sharing this exploration of creative movement in the foundation phase with you. Apart from the fact that teaching creative movement is my absolute passion, it also has enormous benefits for learners, and now in our pandemic era, even more so. There's just something about moving to music that seems to relieve stress, anxiety, depression, and boost self-esteem. One thing is absolutely certain, and that is that moving and dancing is hugely beneficial to our physical, mental, and emotional health, from improving fitness to balance and strength, to having an impact on people's emotions, to boosting cognitive performance. Studies conducted by kinesiologists and pediatricians have established that physical activity has a positive influence on children's memory, concentration, and classroom behavior, and that moving and dancing changes the human brain. It seems to change the way children think and interact with their peers. Children learn teamwork by having to move with each other, improving social relationships, respect, and compassion in the classroom. These movement sessions also teach our learners discipline, because they have to memorize and execute specific steps and body movements that require practice and perseverance. Children need to move, and most of them love to move. Movement and rhythm come naturally to them, and by partaking in creative movement classes, not only are they able to release energy, that they're also able to express their creativity, thoughts, and feelings. In the foundation phase, I introduce playful, simple activities into the classroom to develop early literacy, math and number skills, science and social studies, to develop social emotional learning, for example, body awareness, cooperation, concentration, and I can go on and on and on and on for the benefits of doing creative dance, but always ensuring to nurture not only gross and fine motor skills, but also and mainly creativity. For most learners, dance is a series of steps that have to be learned. As a teacher, you may not have experience with dance and may be uncomfortable teaching dance to your learners. You certainly do not have to be a dancer to dance with your learners, just like you do not have to be a musician to sing and play instruments with them. Movement is a natural and fun outlet for children. They have the capacity to be guided through audios and visuals, and they become familiar with following instructions and listening for cues. What you as a teacher do need to be is enthusiastic, encouraging, engaging, and yes, energetic. If not in movement, then in voice. What you say and how you say it will enhance their movement and develop their language skills. There is a constant interplay between language and movement. The one enriches the other. Children become interested in words that describe their movements. Leap, now creep, balance, gallop, and freeze. Your voice is in one sense doing the action the learners are experiencing or exploring. You learn to speak what I call the language of dance. We don't stretch, we stretch. We don't melt, we melt. Be sad, be happy. I am going to take you through some very basic tips to assist you with teaching creative movement in the classroom. And I'll then share a video of a creative arts class I set for grade 1 learners from the Star of the Sea Primary School. First and foremost, ensure that your classroom is safe. Organize it so that learners will not bump into chairs, tables, and of course, each other. And then please set boundaries. Remind your learners about the space they will be using and that they should immediately be aware of the other learners around them. You need to give instructions like, show me your right hand. Take care that when we move, we first go to our right. Remember to put yourself into your bubble. Can you touch the ends of your bubble? Feel the top of your bubble. Feel the bottom of your bubble. This is your special space, and you need to respect your space and the space of the people around you. The dance classes can become extremely energized and very, very vocal. I always set verbal and visual cues. For your own sanity, I suggest you have visual cues that signals the learners to stop an activity. This could be a stop sign or an auditory cue, such as using a tambourine. It really is important to rein in the energy in a way other than using your own voice. These elements of control are absolutely necessary for creative movement class in order for it to be functional and joyous. The class structure. Ensure always that your class is well structured and that all your music choices are absolutely appropriate for your lesson. Your class should ideally include a warm-up, an activity, and a cool down. Allow children to explore, experiment, and find the movement from a variety of stimuli, which could include stories, pictures, poems. You could use dance elements, space, time, and force. Children love props. Use props, themes, feelings, moods. Oh, I could go on forever. The warm-up should be a short activity and will often depend on what the learners were doing prior to the lesson. If they've come from break time or interval, they might need to be focused in, or if they've been sitting at the desk for a while, they will need to be woken up. I often use a simple routine that is familiar to the learners, which involves non-locomotor movements, such as rolling down through the spine, bending knees, isolating shoulders, head, and I often make them use their feet. It's so important. They never do. But if they need to be more active, I will find music that will involve more growth or big muscle activity and locomotor moving steps. I enjoy making use of visual images. They encourage both bodily skills and movement imagination. You will see in the video I will be showing shortly an example of a warm-up using an inspirational and motivating song. Not only does it integrate movement with animal actions, but it also gives the learners an opportunity to add their own imaginative variations. Allow the learners to contribute suggestions and ideas. By doing this, it will give the learners a sense of ownership and a sense of their own creativity. The activity that you select in your class should ultimately provide a new avenue for learning. Children learn by doing. And movement is a fun and accessible way for children to learn new concepts. I have focused my activity, which you will see in this video, on integrating maths by exploring lines and levels and introducing the learners to the concepts of horizontal and vertical, as well as creating a dance sequence and an awareness of each other as they dance around their desks. The cool down, well, unless your movement class is at the end of the day, learners will probably need to go onto another lesson. I highly recommend that for the cool down, you play soothing music. Let the learners just relax, breathe, stretch, and they'll be ready for whatever activity they need to go into. I usually include an end of class ritual. This integrates life skills and demonstrates a gesture of respect for each other. The learners for the teacher and the teacher for the learners. The great thing about creative movement, as will be evident in the video, is it is so inclusive and can be adapted to meet any special needs. What I'm going to be showing you, or rather what Bernard's going to be showing you, thank goodness, is an abridged class that's been adapted from about 25 minutes and we put it to 11. Please enjoy these delicious children and just, you'll see the structure of the class, the choice of the music, and I'll come back to speak about it after you've shown it, Banner. Up to you. Oh, I can't hear you. Just can't hear. Are you muted?
I think before we're going to share the video, I would just like to tell you, or just like to tell you first, I think I must bring you into my session tomorrow. We're talking the same language because I'm just a believer. If you can walk, you can dance. And if you can talk, you can sing. But of course, it's what we do with the words, but where the text will travel to. So yes, I'm going to also talk tomorrow about this thing of high and low and wide and narrow. Yeah, but I would love to spend a whole weekend maybe chatting with you. So I'm going to ask them to play your video now, and then we will bring you back on. Thank you so much for the most energized session. Really appreciate it. We got to the video.
Thank you. I'm glad we got here. Oh my goodness. Thank you. There's no volume. Telling there's no volume. There's no volume.
We will check that out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Just hang in there. We will get back to that now. They're just looking at the volume quickly.
Shall I speak for a while until we're there?
Yes, please, Roxy, just go ahead.
Okay.
We're looking at the settings.
So because then we'll let the video play out, I suppose. Within this, okay, let's just see if we get it.
I think they're ready for that. Thank you very much.
What kind of action does a penguin do? They do wiggles, and they wobble, and they clap their wings, don't they? Can you walk like a penguin? Yes, okay. Now, what do you think? Oh, what is this animal? A buffalo! A buffalo! And what does a buffalo have? It has big horns, and it also has very strong body. So can we lift our shoulders like a buffalo would? Oh, and then we, great. What is this? A gorilla. And what does a gorilla do? And it also pumps its arms. It says, tell me, I'm a big gorilla. Let me see. I'm a big gorilla. Pump your chest. Great stuff. And now, what do we have? Oh, yeah. I see ocean. Let me see. Oh, enjoy the ocean. And now we have got, oh my goodness, what do you think this is? It is a rattlesnake. Can you see the little rattle over there? Yes. And this rattlesnake, how does the snake move? It slides and it slithers and it shakes its rattle. Let me see. Shake your little rattle. Good. And now we have what? A lion. And what does a lion do? So now we are going to stand up. And when the music says freeze, you freeze. You freeze. You don't move. And then it's going to say smile for the camera and say cheese. So what we going to do? Cheese. Then our throws away. So let's go straight away. Let's have some dancing. Right, put some chairs away.
Everybody dance like the penguins do. Baby waddle and flap your wings too. It's a monkey with a camera says everyone freeze.
Amazing.
And please say cheese.
Everybody dance like the buffaloes do. Raise your shoulders up and down too. It's a monkey with a camera says everyone freeze.
And please say cheese.
Everybody dance like the gorillas do. Pump up and thump your chest too. It's a monkey with a camera says everyone freeze.
And please say cheese.
Tail is shaking right to the beat. Feet are jumping, 1, 2, 3. Arms are swinging up in the trees. It's a monkey says freeze.
And please say cheese.
Everybody dance like the sea turtles do. Flap your flippers and swim around too. It's a monkey with a camera says everyone freeze.
And please say cheese.
Everybody dance like the rattlesnakes do. Slide and slither and shake your rattlers too. It's a monkey with a camera says everyone freeze.
And please say cheese.
Everybody dance like the lions do. Raise your paws and give a growl too. It's a monkey with a camera says everyone freeze.
And please say cheese.
Roxy, I'm going to ask you if it's possible for us to go back to you now and that we give you a bit of time to round up and also just to answer some of the questions. It is lovely to see people engaged in the classroom like this. And I just wish you'd touch my heart with dancing, then maybe I would have turned into a dancer myself. So thank you so much. I'm going to give it over to you now to round up for us if it's possible.
All right. Okay. It's such a pity that they couldn't see the actual activity class, because within this short lesson, I attempted to include multiple literacies, namely the visual, for example, learning to recognize and reproduce steps and patterns, oral, listening and responding to sound and music, spatial, developing a sense of direction up and down, kinesthetic awareness, expression and communication, feelings of inclusion, gaining awareness and appreciation of self and others, and sharing space in a very safe environment. And
well, Roxy,
all
I can
this
tell you,
while they were learning a new concept.
I will ask the organizers in any case
Sorry?
to load up the stuff under the resources tab for us on the website as well. So will you just like to maybe say a last sentence to greet your audience today?
Yes, I just wanted to say that all this happens while children learn new concepts and they have fun in their classroom. And just thank you again for being here today. And just know they finished this little whole thing off with the song that went, I am special, so are you. And you haven't been able to see it, but I was going to say, and just know that you are all very special too. So
thank you very much.
I
think your energy is just bouncing back to us. Thank you so much for a lovely session. All the resources will be uploaded. So please,
Good.
to everyone that joined the session, thank you so much. We're sorry we started a bit late because we're going to move on now to providing peak experiences. So I don't want them to run away, Roxy. So I'm just going to talk to them as well. You can listen, of course, at the same time. But what we want to say to everyone and all the attendees is that we've got now 2 sessions. There's one that's called the dance, that's the dance movement, and then of course also the little prints that will be running, coinciding with each other. So you will have the choice now to pick which one of these peak experiences would you like to attend. So I think it's also a bit of a Friday evening entertainment for everyone. Just before you need to do that last chore in the kitchen, I think it's time for you to enjoy a lovely moment of peak experiences. Please select your option. If you go back to the agenda, you choose the session, either select Tada or you do the little prints. Thank you very much to everyone. We're looking forward to welcome you back on the platform tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, and we start with a mindfulness session tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for a lovely afternoon.